If you want to get rich, you have to stop listening to Dave Ramsey. Is it possible to see short-term success with his methods? Sure. The same way that you can see short-term weight loss by only eating broccoli. We know that diets can lead to disordered eating and a negative relationship with food. That dieting is actually associated with long-term weight gain, not weight loss. That people trying to lose weight will end up getting stuck in this dieting cycle where they do well for a little bit, but inevitably end up falling back into old patterns. Diets only focus on food, not overall health. I want you to think of Dave Ramsey's tactics like The Biggest Loser show, where they undergo intense workout regimens multiple times a day and eat basically nothing. At the end of the show, the contestants will proudly show off their crazy weight loss transformations. But did you know that 13 out of 14 contestants regained all of the weight after the show ended, with many gaining even more back? Brian Benson was on the show and he lost over 122 pounds. But did you know that after the show ended, he regained 32 pounds in 5 days just from drinking water? There are a lot of parallels between Dave Ramsey and the diet industry because they focus on shame and blame and restriction. None of those things are conducive to building wealth. Not only is Dave's tactic wrong, and we'll get into that in a minute, but his approach does nothing to improve the financial foundation that you need to see success long term. And if anything, it just destroys it. And that is your money mindset. This is the way you think about yourself and money. And you don't need to be a fan of The Secret to understand that our thoughts influence our behaviors and our behaviors influence our actions. And our actions get us all of the results that we have in life. What you think will become your reality. Dave's tactics focus on scarcity. This creates feelings of never having enough. And this scarcity mindset has been studied and shown to have the same effects on your brain as alcoholism or not sleeping for an entire evening. It bogs your brain down and it quite literally prevents you from making good decisions long term because you are so worried about the here and now. Add in the shame component and not only will you feel like you'll never have enough, but you'll just start to believe, I'm just bad with money. When you don't believe that you're good with money, you will act like someone who is not good with money. And then the cycle continues. There was a study I remember from my criminology class in university, and basically it was about kids that grew up in areas where there was a higher police presence. This study showed that those children were more likely to grow up and become criminals, not because they were inherently criminals, that they were inherently bad, but because they grew up in a way that made them believe that they were criminals. So when they were presented with the opportunity to do something like that, it was easier for them. There was no crisis of self. There was no moral panic. Engaging in those activities felt normal and natural. They may think, well, this is just who I am. This is who everybody's told me I am my entire life. And we know that we take actions that are aligned with our sense of self. And those actions get you all the results that you have in life. This is why money mindset, growth mindset, abundance mindsets, this is at the baseline of everything that I teach. I show our students first how to challenge and rewrite the narratives that are keeping them stuck. And then I teach them the $1 million tactic to getting rich. Now, Dave's tactic, this is also lacking. Let's go over a few points. So number one, he recommends the debt snowball method to pay off your debt. This is where you pay the smallest balance loans first, irrespective of the interest rate. This likely means that you're just going to end up paying more in interest and taking longer to pay down your debt. This is the complete opposite of what you want to do. He also advocates for having zero debt, and that's just ridiculous. Number one, rich people know that you can use debt in the right way as leverage to help you build your wealth. And number two, nobody is paying for a house in cash in this market. That is just asinine, and telling people to wait until they have the total amount of the house saved up to buy will be the reason why they're priced out of the property market. He says not to use a credit card ever, but these are incredible tools when they are used properly. They limit your liability because you are buying things with the bank's money, not your own. And they can offer really great rewards like cashback. I make a few $1,000s a year just by filtering all of my expenses through my credit card. He also says dumb things like you shouldn't see the inside of a restaurant if you have debt unless you're working there. Restriction only leads to binging later. Add in all his scandals, the way he treats his staff, and just him as a person, and I'm good. If you want to learn the right way to build wealth without the shame and the blame and the restriction, because you can save more without giving up what you love. You can make more without working harder. You can invest so that you can start making money while you sleep. Then start learning with our free trainings. Find them on our website under freebies, or you can apply to work with me as your 7-figure mentor.